tired of the subject. I'm really tired of it, but we'll go through it. Um, Government has a way of isolating you. Now, maybe indeed that it was God that wanted me isolated and alone to work on me. Bring the fire of God to refine me. But with things that get difficult, different aspects of who you are come out. Now, I wanted to see God's face. I wanted to be a son of God. I asked him, I demanded when it says that all believe have the right to become a son of God. And I told him, I said, well, because, you get pulled over. If you know your rights, well, you're more likely to have them. If you don't know your rights, they're more likely to trample on them. So I told God, I enact this right. I want to be a son of God. I'm standing on it. I'm going to be a son of God. Now, with the other what I talked about, that only the pure of heart can see God. So the truth comes out. The little tiny truths in your heart, the dark in your heart, come out. When I was a little boy, I was a loner, and it was kind of they put me for a little while. They were gonna put me into a schooling for mentally challenged. I couldn't connect with people. I had a problem connecting with people. They put me in speech class and this and that. I couldn't speak that well. Now, the only time I really felt I connected with people is sexually when I was a little boy. Now, what opened the door with that, I was molested. And when I was molested, that jacking off with other kids, I know that I'm going to put rated R on this so no kids see this, and I'm not trying to lure anyone in. But that was the way to connect with people, friends. I couldn't connect with them any other way. I couldn't understand. I couldn't. So, in the recesses of my heart, I've been isolated for decades. I've been isolated for decades. Not allowed to go on my first date with a woman. My first date, 20 years. And then they show me back to back child porn on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. They teach me to look at it. I complain to Tim Wahlberg. I call his, I think I called him or wrote him, or I think I called Tim Wahlberg. I wrote Debbie Dingle's office constantly. She called me one time. And I complained about the child porn that they were feeding me that they got me addicted to and I needed counseling. They put it all through my social circle or social media. Uh, India kids in India, little boys being nude and swimming in swimming holes. Uh, Facebook is the one that started it. They show me a man's hand or a kid's hand on a penis, a full-grown man's penis. They showed me a little baby with a penis sucker, a black baby, and with a purple penis sucker, like a little baby will suck your dick. I'm gonna put explicit on here. I have to be that way. They told me, or they showed me two little boys under a shower facing the same way, one right behind the other, underneath the shower, presumably naked from the torso up. So you see them shirtless and right behind one another like they're doing something, right? They're training me to see kids sexually. They had a baby with a penis drew on its cheek in permanent, that thick marker with a head right next to his lips. Kevin, you've been lonely, but The little kid will suck your dick. I complained to Debbie Dingle, Tim Walberg. I called MSNBC, CNN, ABC, NBC. I called Washtenaw County Sheriff's Department. I called Ypsilanti cops. I called affiliates of news because they would refuse me to divorce my data that would put little children in it. My earthly mother was giving me a phone. It was in her name. I went out, even though I'm on Social Security, I demanded that I would go out and get my phone in my own name to divorce the data that keeps putting these children in my eyesight to brainwash me, to get me fiending. I have a personality, and I'm sure the government knows it. Addictive personality. As soon as they got me addicted, they were like, man, got him. I have addictive personality. So I go out, get a new phone, put all new profiles, new everything, new name. I changed all my profiles, different name. There's no way they know who I am. Bam, the child porn's back on there. They don't let me divorce my data. Assholes. So think about a man in prison. He goes to prison for 2 decades, and there's gay men. There's men that don't have sex and they want sex, so they want to have sex with men, and they have sex with them. And then they turn straight men gay. It's akin to that woman being kidnapped and put in a cage, and that guy going in their prison warden, the guy that kidnapped them as kids, going to have sex with them and leave them, and when they're caged and they have a little issues, right, with sex, right? It's understandable. The conditions they put on me is absolutely ridiculous. If I would just be allowed to date a woman to earn a living, they won't let me earn a living online. That's where my profession is. Either church stuff or politics. To have a ministry where people, oh, that's a good word of God. I'm going to donate money to you. I'm going to give to God, and I'm going to give my 10% to your church. And I would be able to pay my bills. I'd be able to have a life. So they isolated me, didn't let me to earn a living on Social Security that pays not a lot of money, to have inflation and gas prices skyrocket, where for a long time, many weeks, I ate bread to get by. Once in a while, my earthly mother goes out and buys groceries. But for a long time, I would just eat bread and water. Now, they want to entrap you with this. I've been crying off my porch. Man, they addicted me to child porn. I need help. I need counseling. No one gives a shit. Oh, just laugh at Kevin. Ah. We'll spring it on him when it's convenient for us. I'm absolutely fed up with this government. I'm fed up with them. And they keep, once in a while, they'll show me a child on cams. I crave talking to people. People are human. They need to interact. They need to interact and talk. They don't let me. See, it's easy for government to gossip and lie about you in a town like Ypsilanti. Gossip and lie about you and tell all these untruths to keep you isolated, especially in a town that used to worship Obama. And I don't like Obama. I can't stand him. So it's not hard for them to give me a bad name. Oh, he's going to be isolated. Ha, ha, ha. No friends. I experienced no friends for decades. Nobody, except for my mom. You put all the variables in, it's amazing I'm alive, the stuff they did to me. Not alone locking me up in a mental home, putting shots, forcing me, and that's the argument. My body, my choice. It's my body, my choice. I can kill my baby. Well, if it's my body, my choice, you can't force me to take a shot that it affects my brain negatively and makes me put in pain. Yes, we can. We're government. I guess you can. You're government. So not allowed me friends and family and tortured me in government facilities. One nurse went in one day and she says, Kevin, when I'm locked up unjustly in government health care, mental health, unjustly locked up. She goes in there, take your vitamins. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll take my vitamins that you give me a listing of what I'm taking, right? Give me so I can read about it. Go and Xerox off me the vitamins you're giving me so I know what I'm taking. And I can agree with if I need it or not. She got mad and said, if you don't take your vitamins, we're going to force you to take a shot. And what? Well, I'm locked up. What are you talking about? She gets mad, and I'm sitting up there, and she's sitting next to a Mexican aide or whatever, is dressed in the nurse clothing that nurses are dressed in. And she says, she's sitting behind a plexiglass, says, I hate white trash. Talking to me. She doesn't even understand English. She doesn't have a full English dialect. She's from Africa. Seriously. She's not born in America. She's still talking like she's from Africa. I'm just like, there was another time they locked me up. They put me in drugs that made my body hurt. I mean, like my blood was acidic. It's Kevin, plead guilty and we'll get you home early. All I want to do is go home and take a hot bath and rock in a bathtub. They had cold ash showers. Very cold. I took one shower there 30 days or something, or whatever, 2 months or 30 days. I can't remember how long I was there. So, Kevin, we don't want you on the internet. You get off the internet, we'll get you home. We'll just admit you're crazy. So they said I would be there for another week if I wanted to take it in court or whatever, and I would get out in a couple of days or whatever. I'd get out in 2 weeks if I took it to court, and I'd be out in a couple of days if I admitted I was crazy and didn't fight it. I was hurting. The shots they gave me made me hurt so bad. And know what they did? They had a razor on the wall. A razor on a door handle, like it was broken metal, sharp metal. Now I went up to him, you got a razor on the wall. Oh, they were evil as hell. We just don't want you doing politics online. So I've been abused massively. And I don't give a shit if you see me, if you put a little boy on another time like you did countless times. I don't give a shit. Just real quick to reiterate, out of all of mankind, my whole life, I wasn't able to connect with people, really. It would just repel. It wouldn't ever connect. It would just repel. Out of all of mankind, especially in my childhood, what was the only time I could connect? And then look at this also, that out of all of mankind, who's the easiest to connect with? Little girls, little boys, men, women. I see men and women as evil. They listen to gossip and lies and they judge you. Who's the easiest to get to like you? Psychology is understand truth, real psychology. And with them feeding you little boys sexually online, what's going to happen? It's written in the Bible, the truth will set you free. I've been telling truths for many years. Your heart is looked at and you're examined, different parts of your heart. Will you be truthful about the dark ones and what you did to counter the dark ones? Again, I called congressmen and congresswomen about being trained up by big tech to like children sexually, to complain about them, to protect myself and protect children from me. They ignored my pleas. Instead, they brutalized me in mental homes. Look, I understood that I got desensitized. That looking at dicks constantly, uh, there's nothing to do. You're railroaded to be on cam to cams. They don't let you talk on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. They don't let you have friends. They don't let you do what everyone else does. So they railroad you. Well, cam to cam, you can talk to people. You have to endure people jacking off and doing different things all the time. But what I learned was I get desensitized to it. That I'm not as sensitive. If I see a penis, it's like I've seen a million of them. So what? So I went on that paradigm, that desensitization, that they would sit there and once in a while show me a kid. Okay, well, I'm going by that same paradigm. They would put a kid in there every blue moon, but they do it purposely to keep me addicted, subconsciously, like a salivating dog. If you're going to show me kids, desensitize to me, give me tons of kids. So it's like you see your kids walking naked through your house. I've seen them tons of times. No, it's not taboo. I see it all the time, desensitized to it. If you're going to show me kids so I can get desensitized to it and move the fuck on. Now with me, many adults, I felt that I've been abused by a lot of adults throughout my whole life, that they can be taken advantage of, and talked about, gossiped about, lied about, never really taken the time for somebody to take me aside and talk to me and get to know really who I am, but acting like they're experts in me. Now, when you see a kid, you understand that the internet is evil, that they sell sex. Sex sells. They sell it because they can control you with it. They get little boys and girls addicted to sex online very young. Now, when I see a little kid and they're like that, I have an overwhelming love for kids, and I don't blame them for the culture, the Obama hookup culture online. When I see a man or a woman, mainly a man, when I see a man, it's like, when I see a woman, it's like, oh yeah. But if I see a kid, hey, because the blame is different. I blame man, not a kid. With the internet, sexing everybody up, especially kids, I would offer a solution, an internet devoid of a lot of the adult themes on it. That if you're going to put kids, you're going to force them to go to school. School is going to force them to do book reports or online reports, to regurgitate all of the man-made climate change, all their propaganda, whatever it is. I don't want to get into all that stuff right now. Radiocarbon dating and all that. It's not it's a young Earth. It's not evolution. It's Adam and Eve. It's not evolution. But they forced them to get online. We're a couple keystrokes away from Ron Jeremy and Stormy Daniels, or their favorite porn situation. Kids are curious. They're going to look it up. They're going to get highly sexualized and act out. They're going to be sexual online. There's countless kids at this very moment, countless kids sexual online right now. Now, I love kids. I love them. I love them. Automatically, because I don't see them as guilty. I see them growing up online, and the adults abuse the hell out of the kids for control, to get the kids addicted to sex. There's something in sex to get them sad, or not, to get them owned sexually, so therefore they can be controlled. What is all this data mining and getting data on us? Well, no, when it's a kid, yeah, they're getting data on children. They're controlling them, artificial intelligence, the children. Find out what they like and use them to control them, and see how they control the masses. It's not a good formula. I love kids, but I'm not perfect with them. I'm not perfect with one that's highly sexualized. A Christian kid I could be perfect with, but a highly sexualized one I'm not. I'm a passive aggressive. That even though I'm a submissive, you open that door, and I have to say that it's the truth. The truth will set you free. Believe it or not, God's word works. Love always wins. If it was 7 or 8 months ago, it seems like a lifetime ago, I was off the porch confessing dark-hearted stuff. Little boys. In my mind, I struggle. Being selfless instead of selfish. Confessing the evil, the left hand, the right hand confessing the left hand. To warn my neighbors. But it's true. Love always wins. And I demonstrated in my faith walk that I love kids more than myself. But God's word is true. Love always wins. I think it's subconscious that maybe I can't totally yet beat it. Not yet. I think I had advances in it. But I think that when I was young, I was molested myself. And when seeing a young penis or a young butt, it brings up very young feelings of the molestation, probably. That how good it felt. It felt outrageously good. And I'm not saying that all molested people feel good. No, a lot of it, it's probably better to hate it than to like it. More blessed to hate it than like it. And I'm not trying to okay it. But to subconsciously relive it, your first sexual experience in your mind, when you see a little male penis and that's what turns you on. I don't quite understand the answer to that. I don't know. I think I'm great. If a kid's fully clothed and being normal, I'm fine. But if I see a little boy penis or little boy butt, I Lord have mercy.